Hi all, got a video here of my opinion of the augments, their usefulness in game, as well as locations of how to easily find the dinos in which to hunt them down. The augments in the game currently have some clear stars, some mediocre, and some that I believe are next to useless. Alright, starting off first, we have Adrenaline Response. Is by far the best augment in my opinion, and it gives 60% damage reduction for 6 seconds every kill. That means in huge waves such as extraction farming or holding down a point of need like repairing the radar in the comm center, where you're bombarded with dinos, you'll only be taking 40% damage the majority of the time. This would be a must have on all heroes. Up next, I would have Wrath Burst. Wrath Burst is up there with Adrenaline Response, and you could easily make the argument that they're both on par with one another, or both equal in their intensity and usefulness. The intense fire and shock damage of 12 meters around your hero is incredibly useful, especially when you're swarmed by flatbacks and bulls during the upper levels of Horde mode, or just in general, specifically in places during the research and rescue mission when you were stuck in repairing points and flatbacks are everywhere. The A tier, I would put Deflection in A tier. Deflection's another top pick, giving you 18% chance for damage negation. I think that speaks for itself and how useful that would be in particular for operatives. Its only downside is that if you're relying on uninterruptible as a perk to reload your weapon, such as on a grenade launcher or on the rocket launcher, the deflection won't allow that to proc. Next, I would also put Coagulant in the A tier. At least if you're playing solo or in horde mode, it gives you those 2 extra chances to not go down, and the damage reduction as well, should you do go down for whatever reason that is. Which is hugely important for horde mode, especially when you only have the one life if you're playing solo. It'd be further down the list if you're looking for team play though. I don't think it's got a great team play value, but you shouldn't be going down if you're playing as a team anyway. Up next, we would have Crowd Control Burst. I would put this as the B tier. Crowd Control Burst is a great one for in case, like a safety net augment. If you get hit to critical health, it creates the massive stun of 12 meters around you, and that should give you enough time for composure, repositioning, healing yourself up. Either way, it gives you that chance to get back to where you need to be. I would also rank Vitality in the B tier. Although sounding great on paper, a 15% extra max health only really equates to 4 to 500 extra health depending on the hero. So with the operatives being only about 375 extra health, which is negligible at best. And the restoration of your critical health faster is still only minor, as a stun lock is still going to leave you no opportunity to escape. So it's up or down, it's really probably a personal preference. I would put both the electric and the corrosion resistance in next, both being of about equal value, as both the electrics and acid raptors are not enough of a threat to really warrant taking an augment for them over the other ones anyway. Unless you specifically find these dinos difficult, I'd avoid these ones. And lastly, I would put Lifestream as the worst of the bunch, as it sounds great on paper, but in reality it is next to useless. 3% max health upon a critical hit with a 2-second cooldown. Will on average give you 100 HP back every 2 seconds, should you always hit critical hits, plus not get hit yourself whilst doing so. Theoretically, you could get 3000 health back, but between aiming, reloading, avoiding damage, you'd probably be lucky to get 1,000 in practice. Best to avoid entirely, in my opinion. And the last one that's not currently available as it's bugged is the Necrosis Augment. As it can't be tamed at the moment, I don't have a great idea of what it would do, but I feel like it would likely slot in above the electric and corrosion resistance, perhaps higher than vitality, but I wouldn't put it any higher than that. That is my tier list. I will get to how to farm all of these dinos next. Alright, how to farm all of these dinos. So starting with the easiest, Acid Raptors, you'll want to extraction farm out at Vultus Bay. It has one of the highest spawn rates of any of the extractions for Acid Raptors specifically, or one of the highest spawn rates that I have been able to notice. Next up, you've got the electric raptors. They spawn. You can spawn camp the hollows if you in the orange zones if you really wanted to, or extraction farming here in Alton Valley is another great location as far as where you'll see them a lot, which doubles up as a great place to fight bulls as well. So you'll be able to fight not only the armored bulls but regular bulls and your electrics at the same time, so potentially getting 3 lots of augments at once. If the blue mutated raptors are what you're after, you're obviously going to want to go to an overmutated zone. Extraction farming any mutated area there is a good idea. Just make sure you're playing something like Rosie, so in case you're getting swarmed, because you're more likely to get swarmed fighting the overmutated raptors than any of the others. This doubles up at the moment as a great spot to also farm flatbacks, as flatbacks will spawn in your southern, your northern zones, being Lada Plains, Magna Petrum, and Nova Ridge. So that'll again give you 3 options of augments you can potentially get. So again, killing those 2 birds with 1 stone. As for watchers, you want to hunt them out in expedition missions, either at the research and rescue campsite or the Nova Ridge northernmost hangar, with both of those locations having 2 spawns that are located there all the time. So it's nice, and it's a nice easy place you can just run to every game, or you just continue to run to one over and over again, and that's probably your quickest and easiest way to gather the watchers for the Coagulant. As for Alpha Raptors, you're going to want to run the roads in high threat zones. They'll pop up on patrols of about 5. You'll just need to keep running around until you find them. The high threat zones, they change twice weekly, so just run the roads in those areas. As for the Rex, he's simple enough. On the screen there was just the 3 cave locations for the Vestige mission. All you're going to want to do is just spam the Vestige mission, jump in, run to the cave, kill the Rex, leave if you don't get the drop, and obviously if you do get the drop, finish off the Vestige mission, and yeah, happy days. Yep. Well, there you have it. That's all of the locations that I found whilst I was doing this, I did all of my augment hunting on insane difficulty and was able to complete the majority of it within about 12 hours. The Rex, Watchers and Alphas took about 2/3 of that time. Hopefully that's of use to some of you. Good luck and happy augment hunting.